Let's talk about my Browns. Throw some respect on the Browns' name, man. We've been the laughing stock of the league for so long, and now everyone wants to join on the bandwagon. I know the hype was just there's no way the hype after last season, bringing Odell Beckham in, that we were going to live up to that in any way. We were mediocre in all facets of the game. There were a few highlights here or there, but this running back group of Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, like both some of the most talented. I think Nick Chubb, you can make a strong case for a top 5, maybe even top 3 running back in the NFL right now. Definitely one of the best pure just downfield runners. Let's talk about this backfield, because it was one that, going into the year, we were fine taking both of these guys at their ADP. We were worried about, we were worried for Kareem Hunt, wondering, is he going to be able to produce on any sort of consistent basis with Nick Chubb in the lineup? So, Alex, let's break down this Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. We talked about it so much before the season. Let's kind of revisit this backfield that's been carrying the Browns to this 9-3 record, potentially a playoff run coming up for the Browns. I got to imagine you're starting both guys every single week in fantasy, but let's take it a step deeper.
Yeah, you're definitely starting both guys. First, we'll start with Chubb because he's like a lock every single week. I mean, he's been an absolute beast. 19 carries a game in the 4 games he's played since his return. With 19 carries a game, he's averaging 6.1 yards per carry over the past 4 weeks. Absolutely absurd.
Stud.
You said, he's got the touchdown upside. He might be the best true runner in the NFL. And in the 7 full games he's played this season, averaging over 18 fantasy points a game. So he's a locked-in top 10, probably top 8, top 5 running back here for the rest of the way, with the volume, with the touchdown upside, and the efficiency on a Browns team that's absolutely crushing it on the ground. We saw this coming. I mean, Stefanski from Minnesota last year, that great running scheme when they wanted to run Dalvin Cook 30 times a game, came to Cleveland, and we all said if they can pull this off with a better O-line, with Nick Chubb, with Kareem Hunt, this could be an awesome power run team. So they're absolutely doing that. So Chubb's in your lineup. With Hunt, things get interesting because I do think he's still an every week start, but his value's kind of been a bit of a roller coaster this year. In draft season, it was draft Kareem Hunt. He's a low-end RB2 who has upside if Chubb gets hurt to be an RB1. And over the first 4 weeks of the season, when they were both active, we saw both of them performing as an RB1. And I do think Hunt's stats and his perception was a little bit inflated because he scored 5 touchdowns in 4 games when they both were on the field early in the season. So Hunt was putting up ridiculous.
That'll do it.
Yeah, Hunt was putting up ridiculous numbers. Then Chubb goes down. We see Hunt's efficiency kind of drop off, but he's still putting up those consistent RB1 numbers. I believe he's the RB9 right now. Let me fact check. Yep, Kareem Hunt's the RB9 in full PPR. So, the inflated touchdowns early and then Chubb going out really just took his value off like a rocket ship. So now people are like, oh, Kareem Hunt's a locked-in RB1 even when Chubb comes back. But since Chubb has returned, Hunt's snap percentage has been leveling off to a concerning point. I mean, 58, 54, 41, and 47% of snaps doesn't kill you at the running back spot. 14 carries a game and 2.5 targets a game definitely doesn't kill you either. But he's really lacked a lot of efficiency since Chubb has been back in the lineup. Less than 3 yards per carry over his past 3 games, where Chubb has had that ridiculous 6.1 yards per carry. So I think you still can start Hunt every week as an RB2, but you kind of have to value him. You got to think way back to August, way back to September when you were drafting and say, I'm drafting a guy who's the backup running back. He's going to get, 12 to 15 touches in this game. They might skew more towards the air in games where the Browns need to pass the ball, more towards receptions for Kareem Hunt, which obviously is valuable, but you just can't value him as an RB1 anymore. He is a guy you're still starting, a top 24 back, but you just need to kind of level set your expectations as we move forward into the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, two things on Kareem Hunt. When you look at top end running backs and then you look at their matchups, you say, okay, right, we circle a game like, I'll use Kareem Hunt's game log, Jacksonville. His matchup against Jacksonville should have been an absolute smash play. They're one of the worst run defenses in the league, but the floor just gets pulled out from under him because of Nick Chubb taking away those opportunities, taking away goal line work. For example, you look at his game against Jacksonville in Week 12, on 41% of snaps, had 10 carries for 62 yards, so pretty efficient, right? 6.2 yards per attempt. Saw 2 targets, didn't catch either of them. So it's just a situation where the floor gets so low, and it's just, you never know when it's going to happen, because it could be a Nick Chubb game, it could be a Kareem Hunt game. And the thing that's really brought Kareem Hunt down in my rankings, both in Dynasty and Redraft, especially going into next year, and as a Kareem Hunt Dynasty investor, I'm trying to sell him right now, if I can, for anything substantial, because we saw when Nick Chubb wasn't in the lineup, Kareem Hunt wasn't this bona fide RB1 that was absolutely exploding like a lot of us thought he would be. He was not a stud RB1, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey type of guy. He was not the Kareem Hunt that we saw his rookie season or even the year after when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm tempering expectations with him if Nick Chubb is ever out of the lineup, because he's shown that just because he's the only guy in that backfield doesn't mean that he's going to be an absolute stud. So take that, how you want to take it. I think it just says, look, Nick Chubb is better than Kareem Hunt. I think we all knew that. But now that's been a confirmed locked-in thing, where Kareem Hunt does give you a lot of hope, and where a lot of his value comes from is his utilization in the passing game, his efficiency in the red zone. When he does get the opportunities, they get you excited. But as it stands right now with both guys in the lineup, you just never know when Kareem Hunt, even in the best matchup, may still only give you 6 to 10 fantasy points.